Welcome inside the Beacons Ice Arena here on a Saturday afternoon as UMass Boston women's ice hockey will host the Adrian Bulldogs. Nick Cope alongside Matt Meisenbacher. Bulldogs coming in at 7-0-1. One of just a couple undefeated teams left in Division III. UMass Boston coming in at 5-3-3. Have been on a little bit of a rough stretch lately, and it doesn't get any easier for them here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle today, Nick. I think the Adrian team coming in, obviously, a long way from Michigan, and 7-0-1, obviously can play, but the Beacons started off the season pretty strong, and like you said, a little bit of a lull here, so it'll be an interesting contest.
This will be the final game of the first half of the season for both these teams. Beacons coming off a 7-0 loss on Tuesday to Connecticut College. Beacons were outshot 43-25. Saw a couple of goalies in that game. Both Burke and Bradley saw action. Burke made 23 saves to start the game. Bradley came in, made 13 saves. But in their last 6 games, UMass Boston 0-3-3 since they had that very strong 5-0 start to the season.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's talking to some of the players on the team and the coaching staff, it's just a game they want to move on from. Obviously, a 7-0 loss is, not a lot you can take away from a game like that, and they're just moving on, looking forward to today.
Tuck out here for the national anthem. UMass Boston and Adrian College moments away from beginning. Our player to watch this afternoon is the starting goaltender for the Beacons, Moe Bradley, making her 7th start here on the season. Was a New England Hockey Writers Association All-Star as a junior. And she split time with Kaylin Burke, and you've played here for a few years. How tough is it as a goaltender to get into a rhythm when you're going back and forth making starts?
Yeah, it can be tough. I mean, there's always healthy competition between the goaltenders, whether you're playing or not playing. And I know Burke and Bradley are good friends, and they kind of root for each other. But definitely, with goaltending, it's definitely a rhythm aspect to it. And we'll see if Mo can end the season on a good note tonight and beat the Adrian team.
Around Beaconville, a busy little afternoon here as both basketball teams are facing off this afternoon just next door. And as we get set to begin here inside the Beacons Ice Arena, UMass Boston in their home whites and Adrian in the road blacks. And it's Adrian controlling the initial face-off as it comes back into their own zone where Sydney Smith will play it. A near turnover in the middle as it allows Emily Howard to throw it just wide. Starting goaltender for Adrian is Jade Walsh. Has started every game for the Bulldogs. 1.61 goals against average and stopping 94% of the saves that come her way. UMass Boston, we just said, they will trot out Moe Bradley. Her numbers, 7th start, and has allowed 13 goals through those first 6 games. Bulldogs controlling here early with Kelsey Cush, one of the top players in the nation. And now Cush will head off behind the play for a line change. Cush, their team's top returning scorer, 6th in the country with 16 points, 10 goals, and 6 assists. Gathered up, here's a shot and a save made by Bradley. That one off the stick of Kalen Schroka.
And Nick, early in the game here, I think you're going to see two teams that are feeling each other out. Obviously, Adrian from Michigan and UMass Boston from Massachusetts, don't really know each other that well, and I think you're going to see a feeling out process in the beginning.
Early chance for the Beacons, 2-on-1. Rebound attempt goes through. UMass Boston gets on the board first.
Just a great play by UMass there on the rush, 2-on-1.
Looked like that was Alyssa Sullivan who got the rebound in front.
Yeah, Walsh was able to make the initial save, and Sullivan a little late on the rush and was able to pick up the rebound, bury it home. It took a kind of a weird bounce over the shoulder and in the net. 1-0 Beacons.
Sullivan with the early goal. It was generated by her line mate Katie Berry, who made the initial shot on Walsh, and Walsh gave up a juicy rebound right in front. So 1-0 Beacons, which is a huge boost for a team that's been struggling to score lately, don't have one in their last 6 games, and going up against a team that's ranked number 8th in Division III. Will be icing against the Bulldogs.
And you said it, Nick. Early goals, such a key, especially for UMass. They've kind of been struggling. Started out the season scoring a lot, and it's kind of been a little bit of a lull. And that's just a really good boost. 2 minutes into the game, already up 1-0.
And Adrian's already going to take their time out here. We haven't even played 2 minutes. That's always a sign of an unhappy head coach. It's Chad Davis behind the bench for Adrian in his 4th season. Bulldogs one of just a couple undefeated teams left in Division III, along with number 1 ranked Plattsburgh, who's 10-0-2.
And Nick, I think what you're seeing here is a team, obviously we talked about it, Adrian coming all the way from Michigan. Might have their legs on underneath them yet, and I think you're just seeing a coach tell them to, wake up here and get going, because already down 1-0, and Sullivan and Barry, Alenardo, that line started off really well, so we'll see if Adrian can respond here.
We'll have a defensive zone face-off, as it's McGowan against Jane Morissette. Puck comes around where it's played by Cush, and then into the middle. And we'll come all the way back down. This will be another icing against Adrian. $18:01 to go in the first period. UMass Boston has scored first, with Alyssa Sullivan netting her 4th goal of the season. Katie Berry will get credit for the assist in just her 2nd career game, as she generated the initial rust. Beacons keep it at neutral ice, but it's flushed back in by Kelsey Dupuis and played behind the cage by Bradley. Sent to the opposite corner, and Bulldogs will make wholesale changes behind the play. Pass was out of the reach of Marin Brown. Now Bulldogs racing into the offensive zone. Puck controlled in the circle, and back out to the point for Knowles. Her shot wide. Wiki had it there for a moment. Now it's pushed out by Carlos. Puck kept in. Nearly redirected on goal by Lewicki, and a nice stop in front by Bradley. Knowles sent it to the corner, and this one is deflected into the Beacons bench. That was off the stick of Avison.
And you're seeing the effects of the timeout, Nick. Adrian, coach obviously saw something he didn't like, takes the timeout, and you're seeing the team respond here with a lot of possession. 4 minutes into the game so far.
Thrown in front, won't get through traffic. Another shot is high off of Fitzhenry. Now Beacons control behind the cage. Armstrong sharing it. And now brought up by Howard on the right wing. Tried to throw it in front, but Knowles deflected it towards the corner. Puck still there as Michelle Jones for Adrian. Keeps it along the boards. Knowles there to help her out. Gets it up ice. Gets to Kibler, but kept in by Howard. Now give it on the stick of Fitzhenry, as Jones was nearly able to break out there. Now Beacons control. Across the red line, Beacons will dump it in. 4 minutes gone by, a 1-0 UMass Boston lead over the number 8 ranked team in the nation. Knowles back behind, and now play is halted.
If you're a Beacons fan, what's really good to see early on is you've already had one in the net, and you're going up against a goalie who's got a 94 save percentage, and Jade Walsh, probably one of the top goaltenders in all of women's D3 hockey.
Only a sophomore, too. Started 21 of 27 games as a freshman last year. And she's out-battled 2 other goaltenders for the starting role. Adrian able to work it back in the UMass Boston zone, and it's pinned up along the far boards and flushed out by the Beacons. Beacons dump it in. Sullivan giving chase along with Katie Berry. Back out to the point and Capione. Easy save by Walsh. She leaves it in front of her for Zafaroglu. Troca's shot was deflected and now controlled for the Beacons. They come up ice with Embry, but she lost it into the corner. Whipped around, played by Cush, and kept in. Morissette. Now all the way around the boards for Logan Taylor. Pushed back in by Salisbury. Cush couldn't keep it going forward. McGinley there beyond the point to push it right back in. Now Beacons will change behind the play as UMass Boston not able to control it much in the zone, but the forecheck has limited Adrian, and now they'll finally push it out into the Beacon zone and make a quick change. Beacons play it right back down. And this one will pop up into the Adrian bench, as that will halt play with 13:46 to go here in the first.
And a couple good shifts by the Beacons there. I think you're seeing a team that's hungry. Obviously, we talked about the 7-0 loss, and I think you're seeing a team that wants to end the first half of the season on the right note.
He's Matt Meisenbacher. I'm Nick Cope here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Left out of the air by Fitzhenry and played back for Sydney Smith. It was out of her reach and then deflected high. Aaron Brown there for the Beacons. And Jones got tripped up along with Knowles. Still able to recover. Past the stick of Lewicki. Smith trying to work back in for UMass Boston. And here comes Lewicki. On her backhand on the left wing. Races around the cage. And no penalty there as she just lost an edge. Here comes Howard. Gives it up for Fallon. A shot and the save. Juicy rebound. And Smith can't knock it towards the goal.
Good opportunity there for the Beacons. A 2-on-1 Fallon with a great shot and a nice save there by Walsh.
Picked back up by Smith. Blocked in front by Knowles. Stuck under her skate. A lot of bodies in front. And Walsh will hold on here. Like Fallon was able to push it towards her through all that traffic.
And some consistent play here by the Beacons. They've possessed the puck. They've spent a lot of time in the offensive zone and forced Walsh to make a couple nice saves there. A nice save on the 2-on-1 and then again on that secondary chance.
Whistle blew before the face-off. Here Looks like Sarah Schreb was leaning a bit too early there at the bottom of the face-off circle. Adrian able to win this face-off back as icing is waved off, deflected by the Beacons. Carey couldn't push it back around. Now it's played by Schroka. Thrown in front, but intercepted nicely. And now taken out of the zone by Capione. Capione will throw it on Walsh, and she will hold on.
Good to see the Beacons not backing down. Obviously, we mentioned the team 7-0, Adrian out of Michigan, and you're seeing the Beacons team that honestly has stayed with them so far. We're almost halfway through the first period and has kind of stayed with them step for step.
Adrian wins the face-off again. Push it all the way down, and this will be icing. If the Beacons can get there first, then they get the call. This is an Adrian team that's averaging 4.4 goals per game to UMass Boston team that came in averaging just shy of 3. And Adrian's defense has been very good as well, a goals against average of 1.6. Interesting to see when we get our first penalty. Adrian very good on the power play at 36%.
And definitely something the Beacons are aware of. I'm sure Coach Colleen Harris mentioned it in the pregame, not to take penalties because, like you mentioned, the power play is deadly.
Pass was out of the reach of Embry and flushed back into the zone by Dupuis. It'll be played there by Bradley. Now Bradley with their stick able to poke it back around behind the cage. Beacons are able to clear the zone as Embry brings it forward and will dump in. Beacons change behind the play. 9 minutes gone by in the first. And another icing, or so we thought, and it is waved off at the other end as teams come crashing here into the Beacon zone. And now a delayed penalty will be called.
Not sure who that was on, Nick. Some incidental contact there. The ref saw something. Looks like it might be on the Beacons here for a rough or a check. I'm not sure.
And will be on UMass Boston.
I think McIsaac got called for a board there. Interesting opportunity, and like we mentioned, the Adrian power play, we're seeing it for the first time tonight.
And roughing is the call against her to boost the Adrian Bulldogs' need to get the equalizer. Thrown in front, and a nice save by Bradley. That was off the stick in front. I think that was Cush. Now it's Cush working back towards the point. Comes across for Zafaroglu. Lewicki winds up, blocked back nicely by Sullivan, but kept in the zone by Zafaroglu. Across for Cush. Zafaroglu circles back around. Power play nearly halfway over. Now thrown in front and deflected back up into the netting.
This is what we talked about before. You see the Adrian power play, a lot of puck movement, setting up plays off the top of the key and also off the wall. And Bradley forced that save before was a really nice save. She's forced to move and did a really nice job stopping that one-timer in the low slot.
Looked like they were thinking about moving this face off to neutral ice, but it'll come down now to the right-hand side of Moe Bradley. 1 minute left on the power play for Adrian. UMass Boston with a penalty kill percentage just shy of 77%. And they'll get the clear just onto the other side of center ice. And icing against Adrian on the power play. That was Courtney Miller, who was trying to dump it in and was just on the wrong side of the red line.
And Nick, you mentioned the penalty kill. I think Beacon's definitely a point they want to improve on. in the 70s and that type, not something you want to be. More towards 80, 90s where you want to be in terms of penalty kill percentage.
And both these teams could stand to improve a little bit. Adrian only at 77% themselves. It's brought in here by Shreb. To the point, nice wind up, nearly redirected by Bradley. In front, that was Michelle Jones who got a stick on it, sent it just wide. Another shot sent wide from the point by Miller. Team's captain, and Beacons will clear it out thanks to Fallon. 5 seconds left on the power play.
Good kill for the Beacons there.
Adrian with a couple good shots off on that power play, but Beacons did a pretty good job for the most part of keeping it out in front. Thrown in front there by KC McGinley. Works back around by Smith. And now Adrian is in danger of another icing here.
Nick, the Beacons have generated some good opportunities subtly. I think they've gotten some good bounces, and they're crashing the net and creating some opportunities. Walsh has been forced to make a couple good saves, but it's good to see the Beacons actually taking the initiative and generating in the offensive zone.
I'll get another offensive zone face-off here as Adrian just got whistled for their 5th icing here in the first period. Fallon threw it in front. Walsh was screened, but didn't get through traffic. Zafaroglu was there in front for the Bulldogs. Up against the wall. Sarah Shareb there. And now knocked out of the zone by Smith. McGinley comes around, banks it forward to Howard. But Howard couldn't control it. She was knocked offline by McGowan. The center ice and Fallon up to Howard, deflects it forward. Won't get there first ahead of Zafaroglu as Cush takes the puck at center ice for Adrian. 3-on-2 for the Bulldogs if they hurry. Cush lost it, nicely poke checked away as the puck gets deflected to the boards behind the goal. Now up ice to Fallon. Fallon going 1-on-3, and Cush able to poke check the puck away. Jones quickly the other way, will flush it in, and Adrian changes behind the play. 7:12 to go, first period, 1-0 UMass Boston. Embry got tied up there on the entry. Now Adrian coming down ice. Here comes Fitzhenry, 1-on-1, stave made by Bradley.
Huge stop there for the Beacons, huge.
Knocked down out of the air by Morissette. And now up for Embry. And Embry will dump it in. You saw the speed there from Fitzhenry to chase down that puck. And Bradley got a great read on the play in goal. He can send it back into the zone. Brown giving chase there. Along with Avison along the boards. Picked up by Knowles as she will whip it around. Now knocked forward and controlled by Jones. Jones tries to work around Brown. Pass intercepted by McGowan. And she was stifled nicely. Now staying with the puck, however. And now it's knocked out of the zone by Brown. And this puck is sent into the Beacons bench off the stick of Christy Zink.
Beacons have been fortunate. I've seen 2 plays now where the puck didn't bounce their way. Capione, it's a bad pass. You know, she knows better than that. And we saw Armstrong let a player get behind her for the breakaway, and Bradley was able to make a nice save and keep it a 1-0 game.
Face-off won by Adrian. Cush will dump it into the corner off of wrister, where Jess Salisbury goes to play it for UMass Boston. Taken out by Sullivan, will bank it forward to neutral ice. And it's controlled by Zafaroglu. Up for Cush as they work back into the offensive zone. McGinley tried to keep it away, giving it up for Salisbury. Now Salisbury gets tied up there along with Shroka. Back out to Zafaroglu. Push was offsides there, couldn't play it. McGinley trying to work it up for Barry. Great stick work there from the Bulldogs and Logan Taylor. McGinley backhanded it. Picked up by Salisbury and given up for Barry. And UMass Boston will change behind the play inside 5 minutes left here in the first. Really dangerous play there by Kat Armstrong, but was able to corral the puck. It's given up to Emily Howard. Howard had a poke check from behind by Fitzhenry. Beacons keep it in the zone with help from Samantha Fallon. Now whipped around. There at the point is Armstrong, but has to retreat to play it and work away from the linesman. Fallon just deflects it forward, where it's picked up by Knowles. And now a favorable bounce picked up by Smith. There's a shot, but it was deflected. It was Smith for Adrian that knocked that one back behind Jade Walsh.
It's a great play by Smith. Way to intercept the pass and dish to Fallon. Got a scoring chance off of it, and I think Adrian was able to get a stick on it before it got to the net.
3:50 left first period, 1-0 UMass Boston. Jones tried to center it across for Kibler out of her reach. McIsaac goes back to play it. Adrian possessing here in the offensive zone as Jones feeds it back down low, looking for Bailey Robertson. Back up to the point, thrown in front and blocked down by Smith. Now here comes Smith, and she will dump it in. Up the boards, this will get all the way down. No icing, though, was last touch by the Beacons. To the stick of Embry. She's able to give it off to Morris, set with a head of steam. Works around one defender. Tough angle shot. Walsh to save. Rebound to the slot. And a goal! Angela Dandreo in the slot gets it through all that traffic, and UMass Boston up 2-0.
That's just a great play by the Beacons. Able to join the rush. You saw Jane Morissette with a burst of speed down the wall. Was able to get around the defender, forced Walsh to make a nice save. There was a rebound. And like you talked about, Dandreo was able to come in and blast it home with the slap shot from the slot. 2-0 Beacons here late in the first period.
Dandreo with her third goal of the season. And I would think they would give credit to Morissette for the assist as well, given she generated that chance that led to the big, juicy rebound.
And a great play by the freshman, just able to accelerate down the wall, force the defenseman to make a move. She got a shot on goal and it really initiated the entire play there. Good job by Morissette.
It felt like Adrian has upped the tempo since that early goal, but two big rebounds allowed by Jade Walsh is the difference in this game.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing a Beacons team that's forechecking and offensively as a unit. You're seeing 5 players. They're tight and following each other, and it's really good to see. I think if you're Coach Colleen Harris, that's definitely something you're going to stress upon after the end of the period, is to continue to do that, and you're seeing the effects of it, 2-0 lead.
Here comes Lewicki, 2-on-0 rush. Lewicki rang off the post. Trying to go top right corner past Bradley and just caught the metal part right where the crossbar meets the post.
Lewicki out of West Virginia. Not a lot of hockey players coming out of that state, but huge burst of speed. Caught McIsaac flat-footed and was able to come in. Second breakaway for Bradley, and this time she gets bailed out by the metal.
So Adrian a couple times has looked like they've had an equalizer. UMass Boston has held them scoreless here. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first period. Beacons team that's looking to end its 6-game winless streak. Bradley deflects that one behind her. Meanwhile, Adrian now still got 2 periods to go, but suddenly in danger of dropping their first game of the season. Here's Lewicki. Turns and pirouettes away from Elinardo. Still controlling. Tried to center it. Comes back to Zafaroglu. And now thrown in front, save made by Bradley off the stick of Zink. McIsaac will send around for Armstrong. And now comes up for Barry out of her reach. Zafaroglu is able to tip it forward, and Schroka knocks it into the zone. 1 minute left here in the first. And UMass Boston on top 2-0. Goals from Sullivan and Dandreo for UMass Boston. This puck is deflected into the netting with 48 seconds left until the first intermission.
It's an important face-off here for the Beacons and as well as Adrian. 48 seconds left. Beacons just trying to hang on to that 2-0 lead, and Adrian able to win the draw there.
But it's Fallon that is able to effort it out back to neutral ice. Hopped under the stick there and controlled by Capione. Smith trying to hammer it forward for Adrian. And now Jones will control and bring it into the offensive zone. Blocked down by Dandreo. Dandreo gets it forward for Kayla Smith. Smith onside, throws it on Walsh. Gives up another rebound there. Howard couldn't close in time. Final 8 seconds in the slot. Howard couldn't get a shot off. And it's taken here by Dandreo, and the clock will expire. Played 20 minutes, and UMass Boston on top 2-0. Thanks to an early goal from Sullivan, and then moments ago Dandreo puts them up 2-0. I think Adrian has to be a little stunned here so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're seeing the team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Adrian can play. You're seeing the speed. They've had multiple opportunities, but the Beacons have just been able to capitalize on their opportunities. I think the goaltender Walsh has made some nice saves, but on the other side, she's given up some bad rebounds, and in effect, they're down 2-0 at the end of the first period.
We'll take a break, come back in a few moments, recap the first, take a look at what's going on around the league, around here at UMass Boston, and get you ready for the second period here in a few moments on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Welcome back inside the Beacons Ice Arena. 2-0 UMass Boston on top of the number 8 team in Division III women's hockey, Adrian College. As we take a look at the first half numbers, UMass Boston on top there, especially in shots. Adrian had the one power play opportunity. Adrian kind of controlled play there through the middle part of the period, but it's UMass Boston who's taking advantage of loose pucks.
Yeah, and we talked about it prior to the start of the game. It's going to be a battle. You're going to see an Adrian team obviously ranked nationally. They can play. There's no doubt about it. But a Beacons team that we've kind of seen two sides. At the start of the season, they were able to score in loads. And, you know, we mentioned 6-game winless streak. So you're seeing a team that's definitely hungry. And I think the difference being UMass Boston has capitalized on their chances. And Adrian has, you know, probably equal amount of chances, but hasn't been able to finish. And I think that's why you're seeing a 2-0 lead.
And they had one shot ring off the post. I think that was Hannah McGowan there, back there on the first. Look good. Looking around Beaconville here. Women's basketball currently playing Rhode Island College. Last I saw was 13-10. Beacons on top there. And then you have the men coming up following that. You can watch those on the Beacons Broadcast Network as well. In the ECAC scoreboard, no games currently going on, but a couple of teams still to play later today, as Franklin Pierce and New England College tackle a couple of SUNY teams. And looking ahead for this UMass Boston women's ice hockey team, they'll be on a few-week break after today, and then they got the Codfish Bowl waiting on the other side of the break at the beginning of 2015. Lots of hockey there in that first weekend of January. About a minute left here before we start the second. Official scoring there, back there on the first. On the first goal, it was Sullivan from Alenardo, and then Dandreo from Morissette and Embry on the second goal for UMass Boston.
Morissette's played really well. I was really impressed with that rush. She generated that second goal and was able, you know, Dandreo was the one who finished, but Morissette was the one who initiated the rush. She's looked great tonight, and on the opposing side with Adrian, Lewicki had multiple opportunities. She's great speed, and definitely someone going to have to watch out for if you're on the Beacons.
I think it was Lewicki, I remember now, who had that shot off the post. Nick Cope alongside Matt Meisenbacher here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. So glad you could join us here on your Saturday afternoon. Mentioned Jane Morissette, just named the ECAC East Co-Rookie of the Week on Monday. Shared that with Holy Cross's Lauren Abenant. She now has 4 goals on the team. So that's tied with Alenardo. She's tied with Kayla Kiernan for most points. Second period underway here for the Beacons Ice Arena as the teams switch ends, and the Adrian Bulldogs down a 2-goal deficit. Here's UMass Boston picking up right back where they started, and now here's a potential rush for Adrian, but it's cut off nicely by McIsaac. Now pass in front. McGowan, a shot off, rebound, pushed back towards the corner.
Huge save there by Bradley, huge save.
Bradley with a save, and it was McIsaac who was able to flush it out of harm's way. At the point, Smith rockets one, but well wide. And it's picked up by Armstrong. McIsaac pushes it forward. Knowles sends it right back into the Beacon zone. McIsaac now up for Fallon, and she'll dump it in. Lewicki lost it off her stick, and coming back is Alenardo to play it. Now Lewicki picks it up, threw it across. Bradley with the save, and taken out by UMass Boston. Looked like Fitzhenry just couldn't get a one-timing shot there. Now offsides called against UMass Boston.
Huge opportunity for Adrian there. Backdoor play. Bradley was sliding over, trying to get there. I don't think they were able to get as much on the puck as they wanted to, but a good opportunity for Adrian. Bradley's had to be on her toes early here in the second period. A great save earlier. She was moving one way, the shot came the other, and she was able to get a toe on it.
Bradley now with 8 saves. Make it 9 as she stops that shot off the stick of Courtney Miller.
And they're definitely going to need her to play well today. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we've talked about it in loads. Adrian can play, and they have a lot of skill, and you're going to need a goaltender to equalize and even out the playing field.
It's an Adrian team that was selected third in the NCHA preseason poll. It's the Northern Collegiate Hockey Association. But now they currently sit atop those standings. That's 7-0-1. The two teams that were selected ahead of them, Lake Forest and St. Scholastica, Adrian has beaten those teams twice apiece. UMass Boston tried to center it. Looking for Kieran there in a slot. And it's pushed back in deep by the Beacons. Big collision there between Miller along with Morissette. All players okay though. And now Miller picks it up, working around Morissette. Tried to bank it forward, but it got tied up with Cush there along the glass. Now no one knows where the puck is, and it's usually a sign it's in someone's equipment as Cush pulls it out from behind her.
And Nick, I want to take a quick opportunity. I know Alexandra Carlos, by way of Colorado, she's got some family listening in on the gameplay today. So, especially her cousin Demetra, she's listening. So, hello to them, and hello from Alexandra as well.
Senior out of Parker, Colorado. Third line center here for the Beacons and captain. And here she is going after the puck along with Jones. And Jones will control in her own end. Gets it up ice to Fitzhenry. Couldn't corral it as it's sent back in from center ice by McKinley. Now Lewicki bringing it in the zone. Tried to work around Salisbury, but was denied as Salisbury brings it back forward. Jones poke checks it back, and it's knocked back forward by McGinley. Smith banks it forward off the glass, takes a funky bounce, and saucers to the middle, and here comes Lewicki, 2-on-1. Fed it across for Miller, couldn't get the shot off. Armstrong there to stop it.
Great defensive play by Armstrong there.
Here comes McGowan, now picked up, and another stop by Bradley. One came from Schroka. Fed in front and a goal. Schroka gets Adrian on the board, goes top shelf past Bradley, off a great centering feed from behind.
That's a great hockey play there by Adrian. Behind the net is tough on the goaltender because you're looking behind you, but obviously looking for that puck to come back out in the slot. Bradley lost it behind the net, and a quick one-timer by Adrian, able to score on the opportunity. 2-1 with 16:28 here in the second period.
Schroka picks up her fourth goal of the season. Now 12 points for her. That's third for the Bulldogs. So they get a goal back here against UMass Boston. There's another 2-on-1 rush. Save made by Bradley. And now play is halted as McGowan was rushing in.
Good save by Bradley there. UMass Boston definitely needed that one. I think 2-on-1 after a goal. That's a tough play for the goaltender. Bradley was able to get down in time, make the save, and control the rebound.
Adrian again controlling to Jones, but hops underneath her stick and will come all the way back down. Sullivan plays it back in. Going to retrieve it is Zink. Tried to whip it around looking for Lewicki. Now Sullivan threw it in front and Walsh pokes it away. Aggressive forecheck by the Beacons, and now play will be halted as this puck just would not come free in the corner.
We're seeing a rush here by Adrian. They got the goal, and we're seeing a lot more energy from them here in the second period. And if you're on the Beacon side, I think it's just a matter of continuing to stick to the game plan. They obviously were fortunate enough to get 2 goals in the first period, and maybe a confidence back at where it needs to be and continue to press and generate opportunities in the offensive zone.
On the face-off back here, that shot deflected off the leg of Embry in front and went wide. The initial shot came from Salisbury, who comes back to play this puck for UMass Boston. Flips it around. Embry gets it up along the boards. Pass comes across for Kiernan, and now Morissette. Morissette tried to throw it in front. Gets her own shot back. Backhanded it through. Walsh just pinned it up along the outside of the cage. Nearly got between her and the post. Now it's Miller back to center ice. Now put right back into the corner by Salisbury. Pass intercepted here by McIsaac. Walsh the save. Rebound comes to the corner. McGowan pushed it forward there for Adrian. And now it's Miller sending it down. And picked up there by Armstrong. Nearly 6 minutes gone by here in the second. Adrian has got a goal back thanks to Kaylin Schroka. Her fourth of the season. Now McIsaac back across to Armstrong. Aggressive forecheck. Here's Lewicki, centers it, and Jones couldn't get a clean shot off. Jones circles back around, comes to Knowles, threw it in front, poked to the side by Bradley. UMass Boston can't get the clear as it's pushed back deep into the zone by Zafaroglu. Centered it, backhanded just wide from Jones to the point, and Knowles up top. Zafaroglu a shot, Bradley the save, and a rebound back into the zone, and tried to be cleared by Carlos. Now controlling is McIsaac, gets some room, and Adrian will back off a little bit, make one change. And now a turnover. Here's McGowan, has to go to the corner. Threw it in front, and it goes wide. It was Miller in front there for Adrian, trying to help out. Initial turnover there for UMass Boston came from Avison. Adrian with good pressure here. Last 2 minutes. Miller just threw it in front. McIsaac there. McIsaac's been out there for about 2.5 minutes there. Her and Armstrong have not been able to make a change. The two defenders out there for the Beacons. Now McIsaac there to track it down. Now we'll just saucer it and lift it high there in the middle. Fallon will chip it farther down. And that'll allow the Beacons to make a couple changes finally. And after the Bulldogs with some great offensive looks. Here they come back the other way with Jones. Jones, her shot blocked down. Circling back around, it's Cush. Looking to go towards the point in Smith, but it's poked forward. Icing waved off here as Emily Howard goes after it. Sydney Smith gives it forward, looking for Cush. And this will be icing against Adrian.
Well, Nick, we mentioned it before. You know, the Beacons wanted to stick to the game plan, and initially in the game, they were going north and south with the puck, moving it forward and continuing to progress. And I think you're seeing a trend here where they're starting to go east and west with it. Adrian's picking up on it. They're able to intercept the passes, and that's why they're generating a lot of the opportunities they are.
Played 8 minutes here in the second period. 2-1 UMass Boston, but Adrian has started the second period strong as Lewicki goes in. Tried to center it for Cush, but it was blocked off nicely by Sullivan as she gathers the puck. Sullivan coming forward, works back towards the middle. Lewicki poke-checked it away. Knowles able to clear it out of the zone. Jones trying to pass it forward to herself. And now it's a chase for Salisbury. She gets there ahead of Schroka. Schroka right behind her, able to lift her stick as Knowles takes the puck, sends it right back in. Knocked down by McGowan, but high sticking.
Beacons were fortunate there. I don't know about that call. That might have been a good play. It seemed like it was a high stick, but in my opinion, I don't know. It was borderline at least.
Yeah, it was very close to being parallel with the ice.
Would have been a tremendous opportunity, too, so I think Adrian might be a little upset at that call.
Bring it back to neutral ice as city officials were telling head coach Chad Davis of the Bulldogs that they're sticking with the call. Here's Kiernan trying to go to center ice. Miller able to glove that pass down. And now McGowan. And now whistle behind the play. And penalty upcoming
Yeah, Embry's going to go. She got her stick caught up and was going to get called for a tripping penalty here. And again, the Beacons just not enough clean plays. Their passing has been pretty good all night, but making a lot of high-risk plays, and Adrian's been intercepting the puck a lot, and I think just a really important kill here for the Beacons, down 2-1. They've kind of been in their defensive zone a lot this period, and really important opportunity.
It is tripping. This one rings off the post from Cush as Bradley was screened there. She did not see that puck clearly. Adrian 0 for 1 on the power play. Generated some good chances on that one opportunity back in the first period. And here they've got the Beacons on their heels as Sullivan tries to whip it around. Good read on the puck by Shreb to keep it in. Cush moves in, a shot blocked down by Armstrong. Stays with the puck here as McGowan chases her into the corner. Cush just kicked it away. Now McGowan holding. Gets the puck back from Taylor. Now Logan Taylor into the face-off circle. Tough angle shot goes wide. Kept in here by Shreb. Shreb winds and fires, and it goes wide. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan hit from behind by Taylor just enough, and she couldn't get enough mustard on that wrister to get it out. Lewicki leaves it behind for Taylor. Her shot and the save made by Bradley.
Important save and rebound control there from Bradley. You saw the Beacons just really tough on this kill here. You're seeing 4 players that are really tired and definitely needed a whistle, and good job by Bradley to not only make the save but control the rebound as well.
That was 1 minute and 20 seconds straight of Adrian controlling the puck in the offensive zone before a stoppage. So 35 seconds left on the power play. The minor to Embry for tripping as the shot is high off the boards. In front, and another save by Bradley. Really being called upon here in the second period to keep this a 1-goal game.
And she's going to need to continue it there. Carlos definitely wanted to clear that puck and get it down. It was intercepted. And a great opportunity for Adrian. And again, once again, Bradley able to make a save, control the rebound, which is key for a penalty kill.
McGowan wins the face-off back against Carlos. Another shot. That one from Cush. Lewicki settles the puck down. Comes to Cush. Moving in. Trying to throw it back door towards Taylor. The puck goes high off the glass. Penalty set to expire here in a couple seconds. And the Beacons will get it out of the zone. And now pass intercepted here by Sullivan. Couldn't corral the pass cleanly, however. Or else it would have been a good 2-on-1 look for UMass Boston. 8:40 to go here in the second. As the Beacons just successfully killed their second penalty, despite great opportunity for the Adrian Bulldogs. 2-1, Beacons holding on to the lead as Fallon comes in and her shot is sent high into the netting.
The Beacons are going to need some offensive opportunities here. I've seen most of the period spent down in their defensive zone, and I think you're starting to see players that are just really, really tired at this point. They're going to need a break and spend some time in the offensive zone, give the defense a little bit of a rest.
Well, a key offensive zone face-off for UMass Boston. Unable to win it, however, as it's controlled by Zink. One area in this game where Adrian is really controlled is the face-offs. After the first period, Adrian had the advantage 13-7 in that category, and they've won the lion's share here in the second. Up ice to McGowan, able to knock it forward to herself. McGowan moving in, has Shreb with her, takes the shot off the post again. Second time Adrian has been denied by the medal. Loose puck in the middle, taken by McIsaac. And now throws up to Barry. She'll just throw it on Walsh, who pushes it towards the corner. Sullivan gives chase against Zafaroglu. And now sent up the boards. And back to neutral ice. And this will be a penalty here against Adrian, as Howard got upended. And this could be a big turning point here for UMass Boston in this period as they head to the power play.
Yeah, absolutely. Good call by the ref. No doubt about it. Another trip. Howard was trying to make a play. got caught up in the Adrian player's stick, but UMass has been lucky. I mean, 3 posts already this game. You don't really see that, and people always talk about how, the puck kind of has a mind of its own. I think you're seeing the case today where 3 great opportunities for Adrian. They just haven't been able in the back of the net. 3 pipes. It could easily be 4-2 Adrian at this point.
It's Courtney Miller in the penalty box for tripping, as Walsh made that save right off the faceoff. And now before we go again, Adrian's going to make some changes to their penalty killing unit. UMass Boston with their first look on the power play in this game, coming in 14.3% success rate on the power play. Something they surely would like to improve a little bit here. Adrian 77% on the penalty kill. Beacons get it back into the offensive zone. 25 seconds gone on the power play. Here's Fallon working around into the slot, threw it in front. Walsh to save, rebound, thrown back in front off the stick. That was Smith. And now it's taken here by McIsaac. Comes to Sullivan with time, threw it in front, and Walsh hangs on.
You're seeing Adrian here. They're packing the house, keeping everyone very, very passive in front of the net, which means for the Beacons, points are going to be open. They need to access those, get the pucks through, don't get the shot blocked. It's a great opportunity here. Minute 17 left on the power play for the Beacons and a chance to increase their lead back to 2 goals.
Minute 17 left on the power play, 6:49 left in the second. Courtney Miller serving the 2-minute mire for tripping. And McGowan will get it back out of the zone here. And nearly a short-handed rush there for Lewicki as Kiernan controls. Adrian doing a solid job here on the penalty kill as the Beacons work it back in the offensive zone. Armstrong just able to keep it in, and now it's poked out to neutral ice by McGowan. Kiernan back there to play it and comes near side here to Morissette. Morissette couldn't connect on the pass to the far side with Brown. And as it comes back down, Bradley will settle it there as the Beacons regroup with 37 seconds on the skater advantage. Kiernan works it back into the Adrian zone, spins around. Now comes to Armstrong. Armstrong takes a shot. Picked up there by Zafaroglu, but kept in. Finds the stick of Morissette, looking to center it. Now look to go for the wraparound, but Zink able to keep her around. Backhands it behind her, where it's picked up by Embry. Embry back round for Morissette. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Zink able to fight her off, goes to her knees. And now the shot from Dandreo, and a nice save by Walsh. That one got deflected on its way to her.
Really nice save there by Walsh. Dandreo, heavy shot, able to blast it from the point, and Walsh was able to not only make the save, but control the rebound, which can be really difficult on a deflection like that. That's a good stop by Walsh.
That's something Walsh has improved here. Hasn't given up those juicy rebounds here in the second that we saw in the first. Power play expired. Here's the Beacons go in front. Walsh stonewalled. Howard in front off a great feed from behind the goal. Back to even strength here as Dandreo gets knocked down. Another puck goes through the crease. Thrown back towards the goal. And now controlled here by Smith. Gets it up to McGowan. Get it back to neutral ice before Dandreo pushes it right back into the zone. 5 minutes to go, second period. UMass Boston with the 1-goal advantage. Fallon fighting along with Miller. And now taken up the ice by Fitzhenry.
Nice play by Smith.
And Smith comes away. Leaves it behind her. And the shot off the stick of Howard is deflected towards the corner. And now a long pass will be icing here against Adrian.
Momentum shift for sure in the second period here. You know, UMass, the first half of the period was down in their defensive zone, spending a lot of time defensively, and now you're seeing here they, on power play, we weren't able to score, but definitely a momentum shift, and it's spent a lot of time offensively, generated some good opportunities.
Taking that power play and turned it into some offense. And Salisbury from the point pushed that one around. Now finds the stick of Miller. Comes to the middle and Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry able to work around the defender. Backhand in front and Bradley with the stop.
Big save there by Bradley.
Got it with the right pad. as Zink pushes it back into the zone. And now play is stopped here.
Big save by Bradley there, and we've seen it all game, Nick. Adrian's speed has really been tough for the Beacons defensively. Players getting behind the defense, and another breakaway opportunity. Bradley was able to answer the call.
.4:11 left in the second. Centering feet in front, Cush! And the save, Bradley. It looked like Cush didn't get all of that. It was kind of a knuckleball coming off the stick of Cush, and Bradley falling forward, able to track it down.
Just another great save by Bradley there. That's a really tough play as a goaltender, moving to your left, coming off the post, and was able to not only track the puck, but follow it all the way into the glove for a nice save.
16 saves now for Bradley, as that shot wide from Zafaroglu. Now controlled by Shroka, who has the goal in this game for Adrian. Zafaroglu now taken by Knowles, comes to Zink. Zink skating forward, threw it in front, but blocked back by Kiernan. And out to the corner, it's Armstrong working in front. Cush a shot, and it was turned aside. Kept in at the point by Zafaroglu. Now behind the goal, it's Shroka. Her pass intercepted, and Beacons will get the clear all the way down into the Adrian zone as Kiernan chases Zafaroglu. .3:10 to go here in the second. Lewicki kicks the puck forward to herself, takes the shot. Bradley looked like got a piece of it. It's coming right for her mask as it goes behind her.
That's a tough save for goaltenders, getting those shoulders up in a hurry. Probably would have been a goal otherwise. It looked like it was definitely on net, and a good save by Bradley there.
Kiernan whips it around. No icing here as Walsh will play it. Knowles took a tumble there in the corner, but appears to be okay as she gets up. Meanwhile, here's Fitzhenry moving onside. 1v1 with Bradley, and another stop. Moe Bradley putting on a goaltending clinic here this afternoon.
Fitzhenry with a great opportunity, some stick handling there. You saw was able to get around the defense once again, and just Bradley's had the answer all night. I mean, that's the fourth breakaway she's been able to save, which is really, really tough. I mean, practically a shootout here. And Bradley's just been answered the call all night.
That one redirected by Jones, and Bradley with another stop. 18 saves here for Bradley here in the closing moments of this second period. Smith at the point, push it back down, looking for Jones. Goes off of her stick, and out controlled here by Dandreo. Got fronted a bit as Jones tries to take it the other way. Dandreo will backhand it forward. Gets knocked down by Miller there along the boards. Back into the Adrian zone as it's picked up there by Capione and whipped around. Finds the stick of Miller, passes it forward, and here's Lewicki. Lewicki with a head of steam, running out of room there, and fronted nicely by Salisbury. Salisbury fights her off and gains control of the puck. Comes near side now to Fallon. Fallon working into the Adrian zone on her backhand, threw it in front, and it got through everybody.
It was a good play by Salisbury there, not only defensively to get the puck, but then a nice breakout pass. Cross ice, put it right on the tape, and generating a scoring opportunity for Fallon. Nice shift for Salisbury.
This will be a neutral zone face-off as the puck went into the UMass Boston bench.
We're seeing Knowles. I think she took a tumble, you mentioned before, behind the play. She's headed off the ice. I don't know if it's an equipment issue or something else, but minute 26 here in the period, and she's already headed to the locker room.
And she did take a fall there going into the corner, but not being escorted by any trainer or anything. We'll keep an eye on her. So we got the final minute 20 here of the second. UMass Boston got 2 goals in the first, but here in the second, it's been all about Moe Bradley, the Beacons goaltender, now with 18 saves in the game. He's also gotten some help by the post a few times as well. This shot wide, courtesy of Shroka. Final minute here of the second. Push forward, and under the skate of Alenardo. Couldn't find it as Zink brings it forward. Fights off pressure from Sullivan, and she will dump it in. Bradley settles it down against the cage for Salisbury. And now banked forward by McIsaac. Comes into the Adrian zone, played across for Zink. Final 35 seconds. Cush to Lewicki. Lewicki moving in, didn't get the shot off. Dandreo blocked her shot. Loose puck there, no one knew where it was for a moment, and now it's gathered by the Beacons. Jones pushes it back in. Final 15 seconds now as Dandreo had trouble finding it underneath her skates. Here's Lewicki with room. Threw it in front. Bradley just turns it aside. 5 seconds left in the period. As Sullivan picks it up, no one around her, and she can just kill time here. As the second period concludes, 2-1 UMass Boston. Adrian gets a goal back here in the second thanks to Kaylin Schroka. But if not for Moe Bradley, could have been a lot more here for Adrian.
No, 100%. I mean, you're seeing two teams that have really, it's just been a great game. I mean, we've seen momentum shifts. We've seen opportunities on both ends. We've seen some great plays, but really the difference has been Moe Bradley. I mean, besides the 3 posts, she's been able to stop 4 breakaways, which is pretty unheard of in a hockey game. And she's just been on top of her game all night here. You mentioned 18, almost about 20 saves so far this game. She'll probably end with around 30, 35. She's been active all night, and I think the Beacons are going to rely on her again in the third period.
Well, UMass Boston 20 minutes away now from pulling off the upset against the number 8 team in the country. We'll take a break and bring you the final period when we come back on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Back inside the Beacons Ice Arena here inside the Clark Athletic Center complex. 2-1 UMass Boston on top of Adrian College through 2 periods. As we take a look at the statistics there through, those are the second period statistics. So collectively, UMB still out shooting Adrian 22-21 as Adrian comes back to outshoot them. And it almost feels like UMass Boston just really needs to continue that offense we saw there towards the second, because for a while there it just felt like they were hanging on.
No, absolutely, and we talked about it before. The momentum shifts are key. Bradley's played well all night, and the next goal is going to be crucial. If Adrian gets it, you're going to see a 2-2 game. It's going to be a battle to the finish, and if UMass gets it, 3-1 lead in the third period can be tough to overcome on the opposing side. So I think the next goal is really going to be crucial, and I'd be surprised if we see a 2-1 final.
Not the only game going on here at the Clark Athletic Center. Both basketball teams in action. Women's basketball currently with a 5-point lead over Rhode Island College. About 5 minutes left there, and then the men's team to follow. And you can follow that on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Looking ahead here for the women's ice hockey team. Mentioned it before. They'll have a 3-week break and then come back and have the Codfish Bowl on the other side of the new year. So lots of hockey, and then will have their own tournament as well. Set to begin the second period here as Nick Cope alongside Matt Meisenbacher here to begin the third. UMass Boston has goals from Alyssa Sullivan and Angela Dandreo. Adrian's goal is from Kaylin Schroka. Beacons back into their own zone. And already Adrian coming out with a ton of energy. It's taken here by Schroka. Now comes the Knowles, who's back in. Threw it in front. Save made Bradley. Rebound controlled momentarily by the Beacons. And now taken here by McGowan. Threw it in front. Another stop by Bradley, who had 20 saves coming into the period. Schroka, high slot now, as Smith will just put it into the corner. And this is what we saw from Adrian in the middle part of that second period. Lots of control in the offensive zone. Here's McIsaac. Nice deep move back towards the middle to get some clearance room. And the Beacons will make a change.
And they're going to need the same amount of production from the top two centers, and Smith and Morissette both have played well all night. Good opportunity there for the Beacons.
That was a tough angle shot that Walsh was able to turn aside. Pinned her body up along the pole there. Banked around behind and taken by Capione. With time, goes up ice. Deflected off of the stick of Alenardo. And Zink there first for Adrian. Banked it forward. Went off of Shareb. Now Sullivan has the puck kept up along the boards there. Barry couldn't keep it in. And now Shareb trying to pass it across. It was deflected. Salisbury got her stick there as the Beacons push it back into the Adrian zone. Now it's taken here by Shareb. Has Fitzhenry to her left, but poke checked away by Salisbury. And gets some help from Kiernan. To the point, Zink threw it in front but wide. Gathered on the opposite side by Fitzhenry. Zafaroglu to Zink. Back down, a shot. Went through the post, no goal here as it's waved off. High sticking is the call as Fitzhenry tried to settle that puck down.
A nice play by Adrian there. Shot from the point. They were able to tip it in past Bradley, but if that stick is above the crossbar, it's considered a high stick, and that's going to be waved off. Still a 2-1 game.
Well, Fitzhenry, she was whistled for the high stick going into her bench, and her head coach, Chad Davis, was talking to her, and Fitzhenry said she was level, but did not get the call here as Jones works it back forward for Adrian, tried to move back towards the middle, couldn't get by Armstrong as Cush comes in. Armstrong tried to push it forward, gets to the point, and Zink. Taylor lost it. We're now taken by Carlos. Carlos challenged by Taylor. Taylor nearly wins the puck back, comes back to neutral ice, where Zink controls and will dump it in. Bradley played it around. And now it's taken by McIsaac. Back for Armstrong. Working away from Miller. And back to Carlos in the middle. Carlos knocked down, able to push it back towards the point. Smith the shot. Bradley with her stick pushes it behind her. Centering feed and a goal. Adrian ties it up. Great centering feed in front. Audrey Knowles was in there as well. We'll double check the scoring. But a 2-2 game as Adrian has applied great pressure here to start the third.
Yeah, kind of an awkward play there. Carlos started at the top. She wasn't able to get the puck out. Adrian kept it in, got a shot. But what was weird about that play is Bradley lost her glove. And usually when you see that, you hear a whistle. Obviously, you can't have the goaltender unprotected for risk of injury. So I think you're seeing Coach Colleen Harris now saying the same thing. Her glove was off. It was behind the net. Why wasn't there a whistle? And I think she's having that discussion right now.
Official still talking with Colleen Harris in her 5th season. She will argue to no avail. So we've got a 2-2 game here with 16:43 left in the third. Comes right back down to Bradley as she holds on.
And no chance on that goal for Bradley. Again, it's similar to the first goal we saw. Behind the net, right in front, it's really tough for the goaltender to keep that head on a swivel and be alert of everyone that's behind him and in front of him, and no chance. And a 2-2 game here. We're going to see a battle here in the third period, 16 minutes to go. Probably somewhat a next goal wins type of attitude for both teams.
Beacons whistled for icing, as it was in fact Audrey Knowles who scored the goal, assisted by Hannah McGowan. So for Knowles, her second goal of the season, McGowan picks up her 8th assist, and now she's got 12 points, puts her in a tie with Kaylin Schroka for third place on the Bulldogs team. UMass Boston had 2 goals in the first at the beginning and end of the periods, and Adrian has slowly worked their way back into the game. Dandreo right there had pushed it around. She had the goal at the end of the first period to make it a 2-0 game for the Beacons. Puck kept up along the boards here by McGowan. Morrison in there as well. Centering feed that Millar whiffed on, and it will get out of the zone and back down in the direction of Jade Walsh. Back forward to Miller, one touch and leaves it in front for McGowan. Along the end line, back towards the middle, backhand in front. Bradley there and gets the whistle.
Tough play. That puck was still loose. Bradley was fortunate to get the whistle from the ref, and we're seeing Adrian has kind of switched it up now, sending 2 forwards in on a forecheck. That's considered a very aggressive forecheck, and high pressure on the Beacons. They have not responded well so far to it. Haven't been able to get the puck out of the zone for very long.
Jones won the face-off back for Adrian. Smith couldn't quite get the clear. Jones along the blue line, able to keep it in. Sent around now for Salisbury. And now back across McIsaac. There in the crease. A lot of dangerous movement there from McIsaac as Jones was closing in. Now McIsaac tried to take it, but Taylor steps in front, tried to center it for Fitzhenry, but it went wide past her. Icing waves off here as Smith comes back for the Bulldogs, whipped around and kept in here by Howard. Armstrong just sends it deeper into the zone, but playable for Smith. Gets it up ice, and Armstrong back to play it. No icing here against Adrian. Barry couldn't corral the pass as it's taken now by Charette. Circling back around, Shareb, and this puck will float towards the goal, and play will be halted by Bradley.
Well, I mentioned it before, Adrian going with the very aggressive forward check, and I think if you're the Beacons, you're getting a little frustrated here, 5-6 minutes into the period, and they haven't really been able to generate much offensively, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colleen Harris makes some adjustments for that forward check and you start seeing Beacons respond here.
Kicked off the skate of Barry. Sullivan plays it forward. Zofaroglu passes it up towards Shareb. And she will get it into the zone where Armstrong tracks it down with her skate. Nice little move there. Gets it up for Barry. Barry with Sullivan behind her. Gives it back to Sullivan. Sullivan threw it in front. Walsh the stop. And she's able to hang on. Moving to her right.
That was a good play by Sullivan in order to get a shot on goal there. And Walsh was fortunate enough to make the save and control the rebound because Alenardo was right there on the doorstep. If that puck came loose, I think she was in a good position to jam that home. Walsh, who hasn't seen much action in the third period, was able to make the save and control it.
Carlos on the faceoff, wins it forward, thrown across, and Carlos had her stick tied up along with Knowles, but had a great opportunity for a redirect. This puck will come all the way back down, but it's on goal, so no icing. Look back around by Salisbury. Now a turnover, and not before Salisbury comes over to break up the play. And the Beacons with numbers if they hurry. Thrown in front and turned aside by Walsh. That one from Avison. Avison here behind the goal, tried to center it. Was off of Morissette's skates, but had no idea where the puck was. And a delayed penalty now upcoming as it's thrown in front. And UMass Boston will head to the power play.
Yeah, Adrian's going to get called for a check here. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, checking is illegal in the women's game. And I think it's going to be Sydney Smith actually getting called for the check here. And a great opportunity for the Beacons with 13 minutes in the third period here. A power play, which we've seen it be great and we've seen it be kind of awful. So it'll be interesting to see which power play we get here.
Second time on the power play for UMass Boston. As Sydney Smith is in the box for the Bulldogs. That first Beacons power play started out a little rough, and then they generated good chances at the end and then carried that over into even strength play. That one nearly redirected in front. Fallon creating a screen there in front of Walsh. Now was deflected by Jones to get it back out to neutral ice, forcing McIsaac to retreat. Jones lost an edge here, and UMass Boston can't work it forward. Finally, they get it into the zone with Carlos. She was challenged tightly by Logan Taylor. Now back for Carlos. Top of the circle, shot goes wide. On the opposite side, it's tracked down by McIsaac. She takes the pass from Sullivan, whiffs on the shot, now gives it back towards Sullivan. 50 seconds gone on the power play. There's Fallon. Working away from Zafaroglu. Gets the pass back from Sullivan. Hopped over her stick. Now back down, Sullivan. Will go high slot now. Carlos with time. And now off the stick of Smith. Carlos able to keep it in here at the point. Taylor trying to get it out, and she will. 40 seconds left on the power play.
Good keep by Carlos, and I'm seeing a good power play here for the Beacons. They just haven't been able to get the shots through in order to generate the opportunities.
Yeah, Adrian is content to clog the middle here as Fallon comes forward. Now Fallon controlling, final 23 seconds. Threw it in front, Walsh to save, and it's cleared out. That was McGowan who was able to knock it off the skates of Kiernan. Here's McGowan, co-captain along with Miller for the Bulldogs. As Kiernan controls, just 6 seconds left on the power play. And now nice job here by Lewicki, moving back towards the middle. And Armstrong just got a piece of it.
Lewicki's been good all night. She's constantly around the puck. We've mentioned her name quite a lot tonight. She's generating opportunities, and I think probably been one of the top players for Adrian.
Tied with Cush for the team lead in points. 5 goals, 11 assists for 16 points for Lewicki. Knowles, glove down by Armstrong. And now comes to Brown. Marin Brown sent it deep, and now controlled by Fitzhenry. 10:30 to go, third period, a 2-2 game. As UMass Boston has allowed 2 straight goals to Adrian, the number 8 team in the country, and one of just a couple undefeated teams left. Here's McGowan with a head of steam. Has Cush on the opposite side. Now leaves it behind for Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry couldn't corral the puck. That was Kayla Smith applying the defense behind her. Now the other way come the Beacons. Howard took it into the zone. The shot was blocked by McGowan off the stick of Carlos. Excuse me, that was Capione. As McGowan faces pressure from Fallon and turns over the puck. Works around the defense of Shareb. And now we'll push it back. Into the zone is Zink. And this one deflected out of play.
Well, 10 minutes to go here in the third period, and I think both teams are going to empty the tanks here Saturday afternoon. Nothing to play for. You know, they're going into the break, and I think you're just going to see both teams kind of strive to obviously win the game. Not only that, but end the season the first half of the season rather on a good note.
Just announced a scoring change. Originally, it was Audrey Knowles who got credit for that Adrian goal here to start the third, but now the scoring has been changed, and it will be Kaylin Shiroka getting the goal. So now 2 goals in the game for Shiroka, who is possessing the puck right here, centered it in front, and it was deflected out as Elenardo got a piece of it. And now down in front, jammed at it at the doorstep, and back out to the point. Here's Zink, back down low. Bouncing puck in the zone. Got through the crease there. Couldn't be cleared out. Now it's Shareb getting tied up. Gets some help from Shroka. Now Shareb moving in. That one hit off the outside of the cage. As Shroka pushes it back behind for Jones, who spins around. Threw it in front. Sent back out to her. Trying to get it to the point, but good pressure by Barry, and she's able to get a much-needed clear for the Beacons.
Huge play by Barry there to get that puck out.
Zink moving right back in, and she will push it in and head off for a change as Adrian comes on with fresh skaters onto the ice as well. 8:15 left, third period, 2-2 game. Shot blocked there by UMass Boston, and Morissette is trying to pass it across. No icing here as Smith comes back for Adrian. Gives it up for Miller. Center ice. And turned over. And now a whistle. And play stopped with 7:55 to go in the third.
This is similar to what we saw in the second period. Beacon's going to need to generate something offensively. It's going to be a tough play here late in the period. Adrian's had a lot of momentum, but Beacon's going to have to find a way to generate something in the offensive zone.
Here's Armstrong. Moving in. We'll throw it towards Wall. She turns it aside. Rebound on the backside is picked up by Brown. And she's fought off nicely by Knowles as McGowan picks up the puck. Fitzhenry there along the boards. McGowan working there as well. Carlos in there. Now it's picked up. And the shot off the stick of Avison goes towards the corner. Fitzhenry again. Lost it off her skate, but gets some support from Knowles. And Cush will send it into the zone. It's picked up by Dandreo. She whips it around behind for Armstrong. Lost it off her stick for a moment, but able to avoid pressure from Cush. Armstrong into the middle with time. And she'll throw it deep into the zone as the rest of the Beacons change behind her. Cush up the ice. Now taken forward by Jones onside. Good pressure from behind applied by Emily Howard. Get it back to neutral ice as Jones circles back around looking to get the edge on the near side. Stops and Fallon there to break up the play. Howard goes crashing into the boards as Jones flicks it forward into the Beacons end. Picked up there by Salisbury. Shroka in there applying a pressure, but Salisbury emerges and gets it up for Howard. Howard into the zone. Try to leave it behind her, but Lewicki comes in to take it away. Lewicki onside, trying to get by the defender Capione, and gets tied up along the boards. Capione finds the puck, and now it comes to Howard. 3-on-2 here for the Beacons. Howard tries to throw it on goal and generate a rebound, but Zink with the block, and it doesn't even get to Walsh.
We'd like to see a pass there by Howard, a 3-on-2. She took the shot, it got blocked. You know, obviously on an odd man rush, you try to move the puck and get the D and the goalie's moving.
5:40 left in the third. Adrian tied it up 3 minutes into the period. And that's where we stand here. UMass Boston trying to end its 6-game winless streak, and Adrian trying to remain undefeated to start the season. Onside, Fallon moving in with Sullivan. Sullivan working back to her forehand. Can't get the shot off. Miller leaves it behind her and now takes control. And offsides.
Just offside there. That was an opportunity for Adrian, and I think the stutter step was what caused the offsides there. But again, the Beacons 5 minutes to go here and really haven't generated much in the third period. But on the other side, Adrian, the Beacons have done a good job defensively in controlling Adrian and limiting their chances.
Five minutes left in the third. If we're still tied, we'll have a 5-minute overtime before a draw would be declared. As Jones to the point. Knowles pushes it back towards her. Pressure from Barry. Knowles able to control. Now Smith, a shot through traffic, and Cush was just a second late to get there for the redirection. Knowles at the point. Now given forward, McIsaac will take it out of the zone herself, turns it right back over to Fitzhenry, who pushes it right back into the offensive zone. Here's Armstrong. Had her stick lifted there for a moment, still able to get it down ice. And they'll wave off icing there as she faced pressure from Cush. Zink quickly gets the puck out. Taken there by Capione and right back into the zone. Beacons would love to get some offensive pressure here. Lewicki couldn't control the pass. Dandreo quickly back up ice. And this will be icing against UMass Boston with 3:57 left in the third.
I think the Beacons defensively have been great all night. You've seen a lot of the players, Dandreo, McIsaac, Armstrong, Capione, really played well for a lot of the game. And I think along with Moe Bradley, probably a big reason why the Beacons are still in this game.
Bradley hasn't had to make as many saves in this period. 27 on the game for her. Puck picked up along the far boards, back towards the middle, picking up by Morissette. Morissette threw it in front. Walsh, the glove save, and she will hold on.
And I've been impressed with Morissette. You know, a freshman, it's tough. We've talked about it before. It's tough for freshmen to kind of step in and get in the mix, you know, first year of college hockey. But honestly, she's probably been one of their offensive weapons today. You know, she stepped up, showing a lot of speed, and another opportunity there. She throws it on net, forces Walsh to make a save.
And Morissette coming into the game. She's been held scoreless, but has generated some offense for UMass Boston. 4 goals, 3 assists for a team leading 7 points, tied for most on the team coming into this game. Taken there by McIsaac, comes back for Salisbury. Logan Taylor there applying pressure for Adrian. Taylor whiffs on the pass back into the zone, and it's picked up here for the Beacons by Avison. Avison coming back on defense. Here's Taylor, and she gets tied up there in the middle along with Carlos. Inside 3 minutes to go, tie game between UMass Boston and Adrian. Here's Avison, just throws it on net and turned aside easily by Walsh. Adrian quickly back up ice. Puck comes back into the Beacon zone and taken by Dandreo. Backhands it behind her for Armstrong. One touch pass towards the middle and broken up. Here comes Jones. Jones able to push it forward for Fitzhenry. And she comes to Knowles at the point. Skips under her skate and nearly cleared out by Smith, but kept in by Knowles again. 2 minutes to go here in the third. Puck taken by Shareb. She gets tripped up, and this will be a penalty against UMass Boston. Adrian will be on the power play for the final minute 55 of this period.
Yep, and another tripping call here for the Beacons. And That's just a really tough play by Howard there. I mean, she's trying to make a play on the puck. She gets her stick caught up in the skates, and the player goes down. The ref has to call something like that, and Beacon's really going to have a tough time here late in the period, late in the game. 2-2 game. They're going to definitely, obviously, need a kill here, but also try to get this thing into overtime.
So gut check time for UMass Boston as Cush threw it in front, settled down now, taken by Shareb. Up top, Lewicki. Now comes to Cush. Cush threw it in front and was deflected wide off the stick of Carlos. Into the corner. Now controlled by McGowan. This game goes to overtime. There'll be 5 seconds of power play left to start the overtime. As that one deflected off the glove of Bradley. Now taken by Shareb. Feeds it across. And couldn't be corralled on the skeets by Cush. And now Beacons will get it back out to neutral ice.
Nice play by Carlos there to pressure the top of the key and get that puck out, force the turnover by Adrian, and get a change.
1 minute left here in the third as Shareb brings it back into the zone for the Bulldogs, who have scored 2 straight goals after UMass Boston ended the first period with a 2-0 lead. Taylor threw it in front. Bradley the save. Rebound hammered home, and Bradley will hang on.
2 big stops there by Bradley. First one, I don't think she even saw it all the way. Was able to make the save and then find it on the secondary shot as well. Control the rebound, get the whistle. Huge save late in the game by Bradley there.
Bradley picking up her 28th and 29th saves on those shot attempts. Miller went forward without the puck. And now potential rush here. Here comes Carlos. With Smith in front of her, throws it on Walsh, makes the save, and will hang on to the rebound.
And that's huge for the Beacons there. Carlos was able to get the rush, get the shot on goal, and force a whistle there, so you have a face-off down in the Adrian zone with 38 seconds left on the power play, and that's just one of the subtleties of the game, something you like to see when obviously you're on the kill. You don't expect a shot on goal down the other end, and a good job by Carlos there to force that issue.
McGowan wins the face-off back with 30 seconds left in the third. 5 minutes of overtime pending here as McGowan tried to go for the toe drag but lost control of the puck. Sullivan back the other way. Sullivan with Taylor next to her. Tried to backhand it and just send it towards the corner. That'll kill some more time though for UMass Boston. Comes across, Kat Armstrong there for UMass Boston. Final 5 seconds, gets it up to Fallon. And that will do it for regulation time. Have a brief break and then pick up overtime where Adrian will have 5 seconds of power play left. And then it'll be even strength. So really for all intents and purposes, Beacons with a great kill there at the end.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, obviously 5 seconds left. Officially it's not a kill yet, but just a great job at the end of the game where, like you talked about, gut check time, where you really have everything's out there on the wall. And I think if you're the Beacons, you got to be a little bit upset that obviously it probably wasn't the third period you had and planned, but you're in overtime now, and the next goal wins. And so you're looking to generate something. You know, pucks can take a weird bounce. You just want to generate some shots on goal offensively and see if you can steal one here in overtime.
Beacons led 2-0 after 1 period and looked primed to force an upset potentially. Obviously, Adrian, a very good offensive team. So UMass Boston, they've gone 6 games now without a win, going 0-3-3 in that span. Certainly they want more than a tie, but to get a tie against a team that's undefeated, ranked nationally, has a very good offense, is still something you can build upon going into the break, and then conference schedule waiting on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a great chance for both teams, actually. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the game. You want to end that first half of the season on a good note, and here in overtime, we talked about as well earlier, there's really nothing left to empty the tanks here. There's nothing. You have the first half of your season coming through, third period, 5 minutes to go, and obviously next goal wins. It'll be interesting to see who steps up here to get the game winner if we have one.
So either way, 5 minutes left at the most. Emily Howard still in the box for that tripping penalty for 5 more seconds here to start the overtime session. Fallon takes the face-off, comes in, and her shot is wide of Walsh. Both Walsh And Bradley with 29 saves through 3 periods. Fallon able to pin it up. Smith there behind her. Smith for the Beacons in there as well. That's Sydney Smith and Kayla Smith, respectively. Now Fallon at the doorstop, and the rebound squirts back out. Now here comes Miller, chasing along with McIsaac. McIsaac able to push it back to neutral ice before Lewicki will dump it back in. 40 seconds gone by here in overtime in a 2-2 game. Here comes Emily Howard back on the ice after having to sit in the box for a few minutes. Now to the stick of Schroka, who has both of the Adrian goals. Schroka, her shot blocked back by Dandreo. Centering feed goes wide of Jones. No high sticking there as it's played forward by Alenardo into the Adrian zone. Played there by Sullivan. And now taken out of the zone by Fitzhenry and tracked down by Dandreo. 3:35 left in the overtime. Sullivan had the first goal for UMass Boston, taking this herself, but Cush from behind takes the puck away. Now Cush with Lewicki into the slot, back to her forehand, shot goes wide. Great opportunity. Had Bradley leaning one way and shot the other.
Cush with a great opportunity there and just shot it wide, missed the net. I know she would like to have that back.
3 minutes left here in the third. Beacons in the offensive zone. Cush trying to emerge out of the zone with the puck. And now Sullivan plays it off sides as Embry couldn't keep it in along the blue line.
Both goaltenders have played well today, Nick, and I think you're seeing this here. Obviously no one wants to lose, but it's really going to come to who blinks first here with just under 3 minutes left in OT. We'll see if the Beacons can pull one out.
In front and held on by Walsh. Loose puck in the crease, but good awareness by Walsh to track it down.
And those are the kind of opportunities in overtime. It's going to be pretty hard to generate something stronger than that. So you're really trying to throw the puck to the net, get a good bounce, maybe get a rebound, and try to get what they call a greasy goal here in OT to get the win.
Fitzhenry up to Jones. Beacons push it back into the zone with Salisbury. Now give him quickly back to Howard. Howard moving in, just backhanded it forward, got held up there by Smith. Schroka couldn't take the puck. Now Knowles with it, works away from Fallon, gets it up along the boards, where Smith will push it out of the zone. Jones gathers the loose puck, and now comes in onside, back towards the middle, loose there in front, and Bradley able to stop it. Went off the skate of Fitzhenry, and was loose there in front for a moment. Bradley saw it all the way.
Yeah, Fitzhenry crashed in the net. That crossing pass can be tough for goaltenders, trying to track the player, track the puck. Took a good bounce for Bradley, and she was able to find it and cover it up for the whistle.
2:11 left in overtime. Sullivan able to win it back as Armstrong goes in ahead of Lewicki. Here's Zink at the point. Brings the puck across. And now right on the outside of the cage. And picked up there by Zafargalu. Beg your pardon, that's Lewicki. As Cush will chip it back forward into the zone. Lewicki. And centered and all the way back down. No icing here as Walsh will leave it behind for Zink. Morissette right on her tail. Zafaroglu there. And Dandreo sends it back deep. 1:28 left in overtime. And a great hockey game as both teams on the verge of a tie here. Here's a shot, Capione, nearly redirected by Morissette. Now here comes Lewicki. Had opportunities all game. Lewicki tried to pass it back towards the middle, and Capione stones her.
That's great defense by Capione.
Now Howard. And Smith from behind able to knock her offline here in the final minute of the game. Here in the overtime, Howard trying to bring it back forward. Now gathered by McGowan. Had her stick lifted by Smith, stays with it, threw it back in front. Bradley the save, the rebound comes back out. Smith threw it back in front, kicked away by Fallon. Knowles comes back for Smith, throws it in front again, loose puck in front of the crease and taken out of harm's way. Shareb goes back down for Schroka, 25 seconds left. Knowles winds and fires wide. Along the near boards, Knowles, and now taken out by Smith. 10 seconds to go. Now Smith controlling for Adrian. It's fronted by McIsaac. And Dandreo will just kill time here. And that will do it. 65 minutes, not enough as we end in a 2-2 draw. UMass Boston with 2 in the first. Adrian gets 1 back in the second and again in the third. And for UMass Boston, a tie, but a really good tie against a really quality opponent. And Moe Bradley getting all the attention now from her team as she was tremendous. 31 saves for her.
Yeah, both goaltenders played fantastic. And Bradley, again, I can't stress enough, 4 breakaway saves. I mean, that's a really great job on her behalf. And unfortunately for the Beacons, I mean, they opened up the game with a 2-0 lead. And again, that winless streak kind of continues here with a tie. But this is the type of game where, you know, it's always tough tying, and you put so much effort into it. You unfortunately can't get the win, but I think pretty much a positive because Adrian being nationally ranked and being 7-0, I think considered a pretty good game by the Beacons overall.
We'll take a break and gather up the final numbers for you, and we'll see. Probably come back with an interview with head coach Colleen Harris and wrap this game up here. Final score 2-2. UMass Boston skates to a tie to the Adrian Bulldogs. Welcome back to the Beacons Ice Arena following a 2-2 tie between UMass Boston and Adrian College. As we take a look at the final stats, very even numbers across the board. Neither team able to do much on the power play. They get killed pretty well, and really it was all about the goaltending.
Yeah, it was back and forth. We saw momentum shifts both sides. I think it was a pretty even game overall. But the deciding factor was definitely the goaltending, and that's why you're seeing a 2-2 tie, is neither goalie was able to secure the win, but at the same time blink and give up that final third goal for the win. So I think Bradley played fantastic, and Walsh suddenly had a great game too. 2-2 tie.
And that's why the goalies lead our 3 stars of the game, each with 31 saves. Walsh had a couple of those rebounds she gave up for those goals in the first period. It really felt like Bradley had the tougher saves to make in this game, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we saw Walsh in the first period. Her rebound control wasn't where it needed to be, and that's why you saw the 2 early goals. But, I mean, from an Adrian standpoint, they hit 3 posts, and obviously the 4 breakaways, Bradley was able to stop all of them. And, again, just more of a testament to the way the goaltenders played, and that's why you see a 2-2 tie.
And then Kaylin Schroka, our 3rd star, with 2 goals for Adrian. That 3rd goal, initially credited to Audrey Knowles, is given to Schroka. So looking ahead for this women's ice hockey team, they'll have a 3-week break before they come back to begin the new year with the 8th annual Codfish Bowl, as they'll be taking on SUNY Canton, and then whoever wins or loses will play Stevenson or Chatham. So lots of hockey on the other side of the break with the men's team facing off as well. We'll take one more quick break, see if we can't get head coach Colleen Harris up here for final interview and wrap up. And joined post-game now by the head coach, Colleen Harris, after that 2-2 tie with Adrian. You got those 2 first-period goals. Were you surprised at all how well you guys came out to start the game?
Yeah, I think we were ready. We were ready to go, and they came out, and they had something to play for. They played with a purpose, so they were impressive. I was happy with how we started and how we ended.
Moe Bradley was tremendous, had to come up with huge saves time and time again. Had the help from the post, a lot of breakaways. How do you describe her play? What did you see?
She was awesome. She went in that game to win it, and we came out with a tie, and I think the posts were on our side. I think she was talking to them in between periods or something, but she was great. She's a competitor, and she showed up today.
You guys were now winless in 7 straight games, but it sort of feels like a tie against a very good team that at least is a positive mark and a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. I think it's a good way to go out before Christmas break, and it's I think we showed a lot of heart today. I think we showed a lot of passion, and I think it's a really good way to end.
You compared to your expectations before the season, now as you wrap up that first part, where are they now? And
I think they're right. I think we knew we were good coming in. I think we've had some bumps along the road in this first half here, but that's going to make us that much better in the second when we have to handle all of our league games. So I think we're in a good spot going out, and I think we learned a lot of lessons throughout this first half, and hopefully we carry them into the second.
Well, appreciate your time, but have a good break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you very much.
That's Colleen Harris, head coach here, as we wrap up. Final score 2-2. Thanks so much for joining us here on your Saturday afternoon. We'll see you in the new year.